Hi there. Today we're going to take this plain white hanger and we are going to turn it into something beautiful with these colors. And you can see here I mixed a couple of them together, some lighter, some darker. And I'm going to show you how I achieved that beautiful floral with what looks to be like lime on top of it, like a stone. First, I mixed the two colors together and made a lighter version of what's on the hanger. Then the lighter version went on the molds. I dried them up very quickly. And after that, I put some white paint on my brush. Important to dry before you do this. And I just dabbed it on there. So that looks kind of like stone, in my opinion, or like a carved piece. And it just brings out the beauty in it. I like to lay out my elements before I glue them down just to see what I have. And you see I'm making sure that anything that hangs over is at the bottom so that the garment, if it's on top, won't bend anything. Here I'm going to add some B7000 glue to this beautiful Totally Dazzled brooch. I am a Totally Dazzled ambassador, and I will leave a link to that affiliate link in the description of this video. Isn't that a gorgeous piece? That's the Antique Bronze Bow Pack. I attached the molds on with Titebond Quick and Thick, a little dollop right there, and I just smear it around with my finger. And I add the pieces to the hanger. And what's nice about these molds is that it's form flex, and it is flexible even after it's dried. So you can move it around just a tad to get it to fit right where you need it to. And I love how the lighter aqua just pops against the darker. See, it's just smeared on the back and attach it. And the Titebond, it comes out white and dries clear, so you won't have any residue if it does seep out from underneath. Next, I'm going to take my essential stencil, and I'm just going to give the back of the hanger some character as well. And I'm going to stencil some white on the teal. And look at how pretty that is. I am an Essential Stencil affiliate as well. I'll leave that in my description. I use Wise Owl on top of all of this. It's just a clear furniture protector paste, if you will. And I just take a little bit in my stencil brush and I just goober it up. And just go in with your brush, and you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot because we're going to wipe it back actually when all is said and done here. Wipe it back, and once it dries, it will not leave a residue. So there you go. Just dab it off with your paper towel and make sure you get all the little nooks and crannies. Here I've got some Hobby Lobby bridal lace. And all I'm going to do, I don't measure, I just cut it to size. I laid it out and cut it to the length of that dowel on the hanger. And I just put it around the dowel, and then I flip the lace and bring it down about a half an inch to an inch. And then I add a little hot glue on the dowel to get it started, and then I add a little bit on the bottom of the lace. This just kind of gets it secured so it's not slipping around on me. And then I'm going to take a little silicone finger, and I am going to not burn myself. I'm just going to dab it on there with this silicone finger and move on down the row and do it again. Play it again, Sam. So you just do this all the way down the dowel. And it just secures it on there in case you want to put a pair of slacks across the bottom of the hanger or something like that. You can make sure that it's not going to be slipping around and taking a chance of ripping or something like that. So this is nice and secure on there. And this is the only one I didn't do with the dark wax. I wanted it to remain light and bright and airy, and it kind of lends itself to maybe, I don't know, maybe a younger bridesmaid, a junior bridesmaid, something like that. I'm assuming that once this hits my Etsy shop, it's going to be purchased by a bride, or maybe to hang a prom dress or something like that. Now you cut this ribbon here to about 3 feet, twice around your index finger, twice around your thumb and index finger, then stick it down in the hole, then through the loop, and pull it tight in the middle. It's as simple as that. Once you do that, you unfurl the ribbon and fluff it out a little bit. It's so easy, and these come out perfect every time. I'm going to put this, instead of at the top, since we already have a bow at the top, a Totally Dazzle bow, I'm going to put this at the bottom on the lace. I'm just going to secure it with a little dab of hot glue right in the middle. Then I like to cut my tails on an angle. Some people like to dovetail them. I just like the angle, and I always, when I'm done cutting them with a very sharp scissor, I go over them with a little bit of fire with my lighter, just 2-3 times across, because what that does is it seals the fibers in there and it makes the ribbon not fray over time. Once we have that done, I was looking at it and I was thinking it needs a little something more. One more tiny little Totally Dazzled heart right in the center of that bow makes it awfully sweet. And I see in the monitor the gold ribbon looks very gold, but it's actually very light and matches the color of the ribbon brooch at the top. This was fun. Let's do another one. I adore anything shabby chic and vintage looking. So all I did was I took the white hanger this time and I added some of the Form Flex roses to the top, kind of cascading down the sides. And I took the bare dark wax and went over it with a little stencil brush from Essential Stencil. And with a baby wipe that's dampened, I went over it a few times, wiping it back, putting it on, wiping it back until it had the look that I was looking for. I didn't want it really dark. I didn't want it really vintaged up. I just wanted a tad. After all of that, I went over it with a little bit of Mod Podge, just dabbing it in all the nooks and crannies here, just to make sure that because it is dark wax, if by some chance there was a little bit of residual that didn't dry for some reason, it would be protected and the garment would be protected hanging on it. So I went over it back and front with a little bit of Mod Podge. Now for some bling. I got this bling on Amazon. It is comes in different widths, and this one was already pretty much split. So what I did was I just took my scissor that I use specifically for cutting sticky things, and I just cut it right down the middle, 4 blings wide, and I put it underneath the hanger carefully, and it just sticks down really easy. Once you get it where you want it, you just kind of press it into place, and voila, you have a very blingy surface. And it does bling in the sunshine like you wouldn't believe. And I did it all the way down to the bottom. There's a little divot in the hanger for spaghetti straps to sit in. I leave that plain, and I just went along the very bottom of it and underneath, and then all the way across the other side as well. Snipping it off at the end and securing it. Super easy process. You get a lot of bang for your buck with this one. And now we're going to just go ahead and secure some of this lace on here like we did the last. As a matter of fact, I did 4 of these and I put lace on all 4 of them. I just think it's beautiful. It's bridal lace and it's very beautiful with a little bit of pearls sprinkled in and some rhinestones. Gives a little bit of vintage flair, I believe. And like we don't have enough Totally Dazzled on here, right? So we need some. So this is a beautiful Totally Dazzled heart that comes in the heart pack. and it's got pearls all the way around it. It's slightly askew. It's not a perfect heart, but it's slightly slanted. So I put it on this lace right in the middle with a little bit of B7000 and hot glue for a quick set. And then I added a bow like I did the other one. Seal the ends, seal the deal. I'm absolutely thrilled with the way these came out. What colors would you like to see some of these hangers in? Let me know in the comments. And do you like the vintage or the plain better? Watch to the end to see them in use with a beautiful dress.